They tell you not to look into the sun because it'll blind you. They never tell you not to look into your own eyes because it'll hollow you out. Every one of you watching this has done it. You're brushing your teeth or you're fixing your hair, and for a split second you lock eyes with yourself. You feel that weird cold shiver. That's not a ghost. That's your brain realizing that the thing in the glass is a fraction of a second too fast, or a fraction of a second too slow. I'm recording this because I don't have a reflection anymore. I'm looking at the camera lens right now and the screen is blank. But when I look at the window behind the camera, he is still standing there. And he's holding a knife I don't remember picking up. When I was a kid, there was a game we weren't supposed to play. Not because it was dangerous, but because adults said it was stupid. We called it the mirror game, but in other towns they called it the empty man or the blue light. There were no books, no wikis, just the hushed whispers of 12-year-olds in suburban basements. The rules were simple but visceral. You stand in front of a mirror in a room with almost no light, just enough to see the outline of your jaw. You don't blink, you don't look away, you don't acknowledge the shadows in the corner of the room. They said if you stared long enough, your reflection would change. Most kids quit after a few seconds because the brain starts to panic. It's a biological survival mechanism, but I was a stubborn kid. I wanted to see the monster. Back then, the only thing that happened was a strange blurring of my features. My eyes would seem to slide down my cheeks. My nose would disappear. Adults called it the Troxler effect, neural adaptation where neurons stop responding to unchanging stimuli. They said my brain was just bored. They were wrong. My brain wasn't bored, it was being bypassed. Years passed. I grew up, got a job in data analysis, moved into a quiet apartment, and buried those memories under a mountain of spreadsheets and bills. Then came last Tuesday. The storm hit the city like a physical blow. The power grid failed at 2 a.m. total, heavy, claustrophobic darkness. I woke up to a silence so thick it felt like I was underwater. I stumbled into the bathroom to splash water on my face, guided only by the faint, dying glow of my phone's flashlight. I set the phone on the counter, the light bouncing off the ceiling, creating that exact dim, sickly atmosphere from my childhood. And for no reason at all, the rules came back. Stare until your face stops feeling like yours. Don't blink first. If your reflection moves, stop. I laughed at myself. I'm a man of science, of data. I know about sensory distortion. I know about the strange face illusion. I decided to prove to my inner child that there was nothing to fear. I turned off the phone light. Now, the only illumination was the gray moonlight filtering through the frosted bathroom window. I stared. 1 minute. 2 minutes. My eyes began to burn, a dry, stinging heat. I refused to blink. My face began to liquefy in the glass. My forehead seemed to stretch toward the ceiling. My mouth became a dark, bottomless hole. This was the Troxler effect, I told myself, just neurons misfiring. But then, the temperature in the room dropped. I could see my breath fogging the glass, but the reflection's breath didn't fog. The reflection was clear, then it happened. My reflection blinked. It wasn't a glitch, it wasn't a shadow. It was a deliberate, slow, wet closing of the eyelids while my own eyes remained wide and stinging. I froze, every muscle in my body locked. I waited for my brain to correct the image, for the illusion to snap back into place. Instead, the reflection did something worse. It winked. A playful, mocking, terrifying wink with the left eye. I scrambled backward, knocking over my toothbrush holder, heart hammering against my ribs like a trapped bird. I fumbled for my phone, flicked the light on, and stared. The reflection was back to normal. It mimicked my terror perfectly. I went to bed, shaking, telling myself that sleep deprivation in the dark had triggered a waking dream. I woke up the next morning to a sharp, throbbing pain in my left eye. I looked in the mirror, the normal daytime mirror, and gasped. A deep violet bruise circled my eye. It looked like I'd been punched by someone with a heavy ring. It was tender to the touch, the skin swollen and hot. But here is the impossible part. I looked at my reflection, and the reflection's face was perfect. It had no bruise. I touched my swollen skin. The reflection touched its smooth, pale skin. I began to hyperventilate. I raised my hand to touch the glass, and the reflection followed. But as our fingers were about to meet, the reflection's hand stopped. It stayed there, suspended an inch from the surface. I pulled my hand back. The reflection didn't. It stayed leaning forward, looking at me with a curiosity that felt predatory. I spent the day in a state of clinical dissociation. I couldn't go to work. I sat in my living room, away from anything reflective. But the terror followed me. I felt a sharp pain in my arm. looked down to see a red scratch appearing on my skin, as if an invisible fingernail were being drawn across it. I looked at the glass front of my microwave. My reflection was standing there, holding a steak knife, dragging the tip across its own arm. It was smiling at me, not a human smile, but a jagged, ecstatic expression that stretched too far across its face. I have spent the last 48 hours covering every mirror in my house with duct tape and blankets. But you don't realize how much of the world is a mirror until you're hiding from one. The screen of your TV, the polished wood of a coffee table, the water in a toilet bowl, even the eyes of another person. I checked my hallway security camera footage from the night of the blackout. I needed to see if someone had broken in. I watched the grain of the video. At 3:12 a.m., I walk into the bathroom. At 3:13 a.m., I walk out looking shaken, but the camera keeps recording the open bathroom door. At 3:14 a.m., a figure walks out of the bathroom. It looks like me. It wears my clothes. It has my gait, but it stops in the hallway and looks directly at the camera. It stands there for 10 minutes, perfectly still, while the real me is shivering under the covers in the bedroom. Then it walks toward my bedroom door. It doesn't enter. It just leans its head against the wood, listening. Now, the physical sensations are becoming constant. I feel the phantom sensation of someone brushing my hair. I feel the cold of a floor I'm not standing on. I realize the mirror game wasn't a prank, it's an invitation. When you stare into the glass without blinking, you are holding the door open. You are giving the entity on the other side a focal point, a bridge of pure consciousness to walk across. My reflection isn't a reflection anymore, it's the primary. I am becoming the shadow. Every time I pass a window, I see him out in the world. He's at my job. He's talking to my mother on the phone. I can feel the vibration in my own throat when he speaks, but I can't make a sound. I'm fading. My skin is becoming translucent. My memories are feeling like movies I watched a long time ago. He's winning. He's taking the air and the light, and he's leaving me with the cold glass and the silver backing. So here is my warning. If you're bored, if you're looking for a thrill, play any other game. Play with fire, play with knives, but don't look too long at yourself. Because eventually the thing in the mirror will realize that it's tired of being the one who has to follow. It'll decide it's time to lead. And when it blinks, you might find that you're the one who never opens your eyes again. I can hear him now. He's in the kitchen. He's whistling a song I haven't thought of since I was 6 years old. He's coming toward the bedroom with a roll of duct tape. He's going to uncover the mirrors. He wants me to watch what he does next. If you see me out on the street and I look just a little too perfect, a little too happy, don't wave. Don't call my name, just run. Because if you catch my eye in the light, you might be the next one invited to play. The lights are flickering. I can feel the glass of the window behind me getting soft, like liquid. He's reaching through. He's touching my shoulder. It's so cold. It's so incredibly cold. Don't look. Whatever you do, don't look at the reflection. It's not you. It never was.